In an ancient time, when a terrible evil threatens the land, only one man can save the world.
Say what? Get out of here.
What? What's the meaning of this?
Oh, we'll just take off that broken record.
I say.
Here, hold my earrings while I take this monster down. I've got your back, darling. We just might burn down this town. Oh no, oh yeah. When you're up against a challenge and you need a helping hand, we've got an arsenal of fireballs, steel stilettos, and a cat. Oh yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Here Hold My Earrings. I am your DM for today, and with me I have Henrietta, Yvonne, Laura, Susan, Daria, and Sophie. Henrietta?
Hi, I'm Henriette. I'm from Norway, and I play a Kalashtar druid named Dalin.
Yvonne?
Hi, I'm Yvonne and I play Cracker, a half-orc barbarian.
Laura?
Hi, I'm Laura from Germany, and I'm playing Byleth, a dragonborn wizard.
Oh yeah, we forgot all the nations.
Yeah, true.
Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan. I'm from America, and I play Moxie, a half-elven bard.
Daria?
Hi, I'm Daria. I'm from Poland, and I play a tiefling sorcerer named Zenis.
And Sophie.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm from Wales and I play Charlotte.
Excellent. Henrietta, would you like to lead us in the recap?
I guess so. This is my turn. Well, we left off after fighting the slavers that had caught the dwarf lady and the dead elf kid and her parents. We checked the map to see how far we are from Graven Hollow, and it's only a day or so left. So we started to discuss that we need to get moving, and the dwarf lady, she decides to follow us, and she tries to find out where we are going because we haven't told her yet. And Dalin is pretty vague. She doesn't want to tell her. She doesn't trust her. We decide that we need to get over the river, and we try to plan a little bit, but planning never goes really our way. So Dalin turns into Cat and tells Cud to throw her over, tying a rope to her as well. And Cud is not very nimble, so he kind of just totally restrains Dalin and chugs her over to the other side. And of course I break Wild Shape and is entangled in the rope. And there was also a discussion of who was strongest, so Cud had to prove that he was strongest, so he takes a hyena cub and throws that as well. And it dies. And Moxie's not very happy about it. Can't imagine why. And Cud is, well, he's sad. He didn't mean to do that. So, but Moxie also has a conversation with Bonecracker to help trying to train the cubs. In exchange, that Moxie teaches Bonecracker to write because she wants to record her people's past and future. I think Moxie agrees.
Yes.
And being, well, trying to figure out how to get over the river, we decide eventually to use the boat that is there. And Moxie, she rows the boat over to the other side like was the easiest thing in the world. People jump off, and of course somebody goes in the river. And we send the boat back, and Cud rows over the second time, and of course somebody goes in the river that time as well, because we are not very athletic people. And we caught some web and some to try and not lose them in the river. And of course everybody gets on shore because we are awesome in the end. I'm trying to keep it brief because I have 7 pages of notes.
You forgot humble.
Yeah. Well, I'm not humble. We're awesome. And we start walking on the other side, and we get to a dead end, and we try to figure out how to get past it. There's a hole over kind of a wall because we feel a breeze, and we kind of climb and try to figure out. And of course, the dwarf lady goes in and finds a button and opens the stairwell. So she made us look stupid. Inside, inside we find a man, a hunchback in the corner, and Moxie, as she always does, approaches, and he looks up, and Dalin recognizes him as Agamemnon Scorch. And well, we figure out that it's his simulacrum because Scorch he's lost. Nobody knows where he is, and so, and we have met his simulacrum before, and this was version 4, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He says that he can get us up the lift, but he doesn't seem to remember who he is. We kind of ask him some questions to try and determine what he's doing there, but he doesn't remember. And we notice that he has a mold on his hands, so we figure out that that is the cause of his amnesia. So Danin uses dispel magic and wipes off the mold, and suddenly he remembers who he is. He says that he has been tasked to find out why the mold is spreading on the surface and trying to find out what happened to the real Agamemnon Scorch. He also says that last time he was seen was in the abyss, I think, if I don't remember wrongly.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes floating disc, which we stand on, and he kind of pulls us up in the elevator that we saw in the room. And then we see a big couple of doors with a statue in front of it who bids us welcome to Gravenhollow. We are finally there after I don't know how many episodes. We've been trying to get there for a long time. And we enter the city and we see a huge lizard with 8 legs. And I have written down his name, but I can't pronounce it. But he's a guardian of the place.
Valdescar.
Yes, thank you. And he says that any questions we had, the answers can probably be found in the library, but we have to also know that the library is for giants, so most of the information is about giants and where they live. We are welcome to go anywhere, and he also, well, Dalin doesn't know what he is, so she asks him, and he's a basilisk. That's important to know, I think. So we go inside, we talk to a librarian, and he tells us that we are welcome anywhere. There's a past hall, the hall of the past, the present, and the future. And we try to tell him what we are looking for, that we are looking for information about Saktmoy and Jubilee and how to defeat them, get some info about the mold. And we also decide that we are going to go to the present department first. And he gives us a crystal that we can travel within the library. If it's just focused hard enough, it will teleport us there. At this point, I think we also brought up the book that we found that was Agamemnon Scorch's, and the simulacrum wants it back, and he can open it because it's not ours. So he has to take it, he says. And we know that he's powerful, so probably not the best guy to fight over it. And they don't allow fighting in the library either. So we decide to get the book, give the book to Scorch, and he will contact us if he finds any information that is relevant inside. We also want to, I think it was Laura that wanted to try and find something out about Kuransley's tattoo as well while we were there. And when we get to the present, Byleth focus on the crystal, and she does it really well, and you just pop into where we want to go. Well, it guides us there. And when we get there, we see the little elf girl that we saved in kind of, she was already dead, but we got her revenge on the slavers. She's there, and she's with her parents, and she's trying to hide a book. I think that's where we left off. That was a lot.
Sounds right.
Excellent. Well done. And you gain a point of inspiration for that wonderful and succinct summation.
I think I got
Terrific.
most of it.
Do you need
No, I
a
think
drink
you got
now?
all of it.
So I think you need a cigarette and a drink.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going to take a break. 5-minute break.
That was just so much.
Yeah.
I can't take it anymore.
Well done. Okay, so you are all in the Hall of the Present, also known as the Archives of the Present. As you can see, this is a large hall, and the dimensions with all of these are designed for giants, of course, so you guys look especially small. There are smaller, sort of kitty-sized bits of furniture, and there are lots of step ladders and things. There is also magic within the library. The limitation on magic caused by the phase rest that surrounds the buildings is one designed to prevent aggressive or violent types of magic being used inside the library grounds, as well as certain types of magic piercing from external sources, such as possibly teleportation and divination. But if you wanted to use some gentle magic, for example, or harmless magic inside, generally speaking, librarians don't really get involved in that, and even Valdescar isn't going to come down particularly hard as long as it isn't interfering with anybody else. Around the Hall of the Present, you see your friend Conan the librarian. He looks a bit different than when you first met him. Not entirely clear why that is, but it's always worth asking people. And as you may recall in the previous conversations with Conan, the various halls include a number of supplicants, seekers, and general researchers who may come from different time periods. So you may see not only the great and the powerful or the truly dedicated from your own time, but you may come across the shades of those from previous eras or those who have yet to live or visit, because the library does sit at a nexus point, both within space as well as time. You see what appears to be Valdescar, dressed very nicely and handsomely, roaming this portion of the library. And of course, you see one of the ubiquitous refreshment stands operated by your very good friend, Susna. There is a young attendant in front of it, as well as another one standing slightly off to the side. Further up, you can hear, as well as see occasionally, a tremendous arm reaching out and then putting some stones or metal stela or other recordings back onto various shelves, and you sense that this may be one of the stone giant librarians. And wandering about in the back, you think you spot a bit of purple, accompanied by a slightly bigger bit of purple. What do you all want to do?
Where's the elf kid with her parents in the book? That we.
Well, from the foyer, they disappeared through a doorway, and you're not entirely clear where that doorway went because you ended up in this hall.
Okay.
The crystal that was given to you does help people find not just actual information or records or archives. It can also be used to find individual people who may be in the library, such as a particular librarian or assistant librarian or another patron of the library. Does anybody feel thirsty, hungry, peckish?
I was just gonna say that. I'm starving.
Pain chocolat, anyone?
Wee wee.
Cud sniffs the air tentatively. I think I smell tea. Or something similar to tea. And he leans over and he sniffs Moxie's hair. Nope.
Moxie kind of growls and steps the opposite direction.
Oh, let it go. My brothers were killed, and look at me now. I'm part of the group that killed them. No piggy.
Yeah. She takes another step away.
She's going to hold a grudge. And he leans into Delin. I think she needs a cup of tea, chamomile or something to calm her nerves.
Probably.
He sniffs Cracker. Nope, not Cracker.
I think he's trying to tell you something.
Flex a little.
And he follows his nose, which is up in the air, just sort of randomly sniffing. No. And he pulls up next to the little Cessna's stand. Ooh, 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 ooh. And he starts pointing animatedly at one of the items on the list. It says tea. I recognize the tea. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Dylan, can I have some money? Can I have some money?
Yeah, sure. I give him 2 gold.
He looks at it. He looks at the prices, peers, squints, and you see it says 3 gold, 5 silver.
For tea?
Library prices.
Jesus. Fine. Here we are. 4 gold.
And he hands it over to the attendant, who seems to be very busy reading a book and completely ignoring the customers that have rocked up.
Oh. I can take your order, sir.
Oh! Yip, 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 yip. And he's sort of hopping between left foot, right foot, trying to contain his excitement and failing.
What can I get you?
Tea, please, he says very proudly, standing even straighter than his normal 8 feet of height would allow.
Any particular kind of tea?
The kind that's hot?
How about I give you the house blend?
Oh, yeah. I like blends.
That'll be. How much did you say?
It looks like it says 3 gold, 5 silver on the screen.
That'll be 3 gold and 5 silver, please.
Here. And he gives you the 4 gold pieces. Keep the change. I always wanted to say that.
And then she starts to prepare the mushroom tea.
Ooh, that smells good. Yeah, I'm hungry. Dylan, can I have some more money, please?
How much?
I don't know. Oh, you pick. You buy me something that I might like. You know my tastes.
Okay. Can I see the menu?
It's right there. And there are listed on there a whole mess of things. Things that you've never heard of. Mushroom minced eye, Rotha pasties, something called a doo-doo cake, for those of you who might be curious and brave, cracker.
Looks like
And-
chocolate.
And for
Oh
the
boy.
price of 100 gold, something called a blueberry muffin.
Yeah, you're not getting that.
Oh,
kinda
come on. It's got to be good. Look at it.
No.
It's got a
Stutters at the
blueberry.
Stutters at the side of the blueberries.
They're supposed to be really, really special.
Not on the surface.
You don't need it. You don't need blueberries, sir.
Are we talking again?
No, I'm just making a comment that you don't need blueberries.
Well, then I don't need your opinion. Thank you very much.
C'est la vie.
The two remaining hyena babies, little cubs, are anxiously yapping about, sniffing the food as well. You're getting the impression that this may end up becoming a very expensive little excursion where everybody has to get something.
I'm not paying for everyone. Ew.
I mean, you're kind of the mom of the group. I mean, don't know. What's your, didn't want to be the mom, then you shouldn't have been the eldest and the most responsible.
I'm the responsible one.
Oh, look at me. I'm the most irresponsible one, apparently.
Responsible.
I am going to order a deep Rotha something and give to the cubs.
Okay. Yeah, pasty. And it's warm and it smells actually really, really good. You can tell there are a lot of heavy spices influenced in this thing.
Oh, their fart's gonna smell awful tomorrow, but okay.
Yes, it will.
Speaking from experience with my dogs. Okay. What do you want, Cud? Pick one. But not the blueberry muffin. I'm not getting you.
Oh! This makes Cud very angry. Let me sip some tea.
Calm
Oh.
down or you're
Oh.
not getting anything.
Oh. Okay, I'm calm. Oh, I know. It says scone. I'll have that. And he whispers to Dylan, and I'll smear some of my black mold on it.
Good idea.
One scone, please.
Okay, so that's one scone and a deep broth pasty.
Yes.
Anything else?
Anyone else? Melbourne, cracker.
Cake. That looks like chocolate. I want the cake.
Ugh.
Chocolate cake.
Okay, chocolate cake. That's the, what do you call it?
You
Doo-doo.
do.
I know.
The
Dude,
doo-doo cake.
I can't
Doo-doo
read
cake.
that. I just saw the picture.
Doo-doo cake for
Are you
cracker.
sure you want the doo-doo cake?
What
Yep.
is the cheapest thing on the menu?
Water.
Water. Just water. And what's the second cheapest thing on the menu?
The second cheapest thing on the menu is something called a mint pick.
Then I'm gonna take that. And I'm gonna pay for myself. Because I'm also responsible. Can manage my finances.
But that's what the lid's for.
Your parents would be so proud if
Mm.
they were still alive.
Aw.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh.
Yes, he went there. He had to.
Took Cruella.
So the
am-
mint pick cost 1 gold pieces, and everything else comes to a total of 12 gold pieces,
Fine.
excluding the tea that was already paid for.
Yep.
And when you get the mint pick, you realize that it's literally a piece of wood that has a pine scent. You're not entirely sure you're supposed to eat this.
Well, I have manners, so I'm gonna eat it and I don't know. Does it taste good? If it doesn't, I will pretend that it does.
It tastes like a splinter from a pine tree. But
Hmm.
everyone immediately within 5 feet of you notices that your breath, although never particularly bad like some people's, Cracker,
Hey, come on now.
suddenly has a minty, fresh pine scent, and the whole area seems to smell like an Everglade forest.
So now we've got forest acid to smell.
Amazing.
Of course, a little piece gets stuck in between some of your fangs, so now you feel like you
Ooh.
need a regular toothpick to get them out.
Mm. That's gonna be annoying. Gonna try to take it out like the whole time, you know? And then I'm gonna
Mhm.
ask like Cracker if she can get it out for me.
Like,
Could you look
away
in
at your
in my mouth? Yeah. There's something stuck there.
Okay, okay. Hold still. Don't bite me. Don't bite me. You bite
He
me, I
gently
slap you.
closes her
Okay.
fangs on Cracker's fingers.
Chomp.
I
Much
take my
tastier than a
cracker.
pick.
I take my dagger and I like Cracker just weasels that little bit of something out of there.
All right. Now just remind me again, Yvonne, is Cracker's background that of a dentist or dental hygienist? Oral surgeon?
Let me check here. I do have rustic hospitality.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be something related.
Artisan's
so what-
tools.
Artisan's tools. I will give you artisan's tools. What do you think that should be? Survival or maybe a dexterity check? Investigation even? Because I know
Survival's
intelligence is your
probably
strong
pretty good.
suit.
I'd say, yeah. Well, come on. I'm intelligent, like everybody else. I'm as smart as everybody else.
I'm
You can
smart.
do it.
All right. Yeah, you pick your
Hey.
roll. All right. Yeah. You
16.
you worry away with your dagger in the jaws of this 6'6" tall, 350-pound dragonborn. And just as you're afraid you're about to either break your dagger or one of her fangs, you hear a satisfying pop, and a little tiny splinter comes flying out and drops in Cud's tea. Cud, still trying to figure out how to get at this chocolate doo-doo cake that Cracker purchased and has absentmindedly left on the table, completely misses this little bit of flotsam that has landed in his drink and absentmindedly sips it. Ooh, minty. And Violet, you feel immediately better.
Thanks a lot. You should take a job as a dentist.
I know I can work
That'd be
anywhere.
great.
Honestly, I've had so
Definitely.
many jobs. I'm putting this on my list.
Cracker's CV: bar hostess, waitress, maitre d', chef,
Dental hygienist.
dental hygienist. I literally saw somebody's LinkedIn profile. I'm not sure why they sent it to me, but they listed themselves as an accounting expert, okay, as well as a stylist and makeup artist. And I thought, why did this person A, put those things together on their CV, and B, why did they send? Okay,
Just
very
wanted you
good.
to know.
Yeah, just wanted me to know. Maybe she was trying to tell me something. Like my LinkedIn picture isn't very flattering or something, and she thought she could help me with both my taxes and my image. In which case, that's kind of a backhanded. That's actually a straightforward insult. Actually, now that I think about it. So, yeah, I mean, Sophie has been extremely helpful. I don't suppose any of you wants to ask her what she's doing here, or how Cessnas came to be here, or anything else.
Well, we have some mushrooms for Cessna. I don't know if we should drop them off here or. I'm going to use my sending stone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I have two. I used one to message Silothol today, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
I have another one, and I'm just gonna Cessna. In Graven Hollow, Seor Cafe have mushrooms. Do you want them here?
Cessna will respond. Ooh. Tell me how service is. Have had problems with staff recently. Drop mushrooms, and if they can't pay you, we'll give you all the free food you can carry.
Just gonna swear at the stone. I don't want food. I want money. I'm gonna put it back in my bag. God damn it.
For a nature-loving, metal shying away from druid, I have to say you are pretty practical. You're kind of like
Sometimes.
Scrooge McDruid.
Yeah, well, I didn't start out as a druid, so it's kind of hard to get into that zone. I can't say I'm trying either because I'm not really not, but
It's a work in progress.
yeah, it is. So I'm not best at kind of negotiating or haggling. Maybe someone who's good at that could talk to them and see if they can give us money for those mushrooms that we gathered.
Like flex a little, and you
Or
know, make them give us some money.
do we want to go that route immediately? Maybe have Moxie. You can be pretty persuasive, can't you?
I mean, yeah, but I can try and be persuasive. So, I guess we're doing this. Hello, Agamemnon. Sorry, he popped up on my screen.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Yeah,
in
he
your
did
face.
that on purpose.
In your face, just
He-
popping up. Hello.
It's like, wait a minute, hey. I was like, wow, what? Who? Huh?
Is that you, Sophie?
Agamemnon? And then she kind of
Well.
leaves her post and looks at him.
Yes. Well, as you know, I'm Simulacrum 4, but it's nice to see you again.
Wait, hang on. Did you call me by my by my real name?
Oh, Charlotte. Say.
Yes, it's me. Where have you been?
It's also Sophie. Charlotte Sophie is actually her character name. There you go.
New law.
Where have I been? Well, I don't remember now.
Apparently, you were sitting at that elevator for a while.
Oh, yes. The problem with being a simulacrum is that you can't remember new things. Sometimes. But that's why Charlotte was assigned to Agamemnon Scorch as an intern. More to you.
Yes, I've been waiting for you for months in this library.
Oh, I feel like I should apologize.
He
you
ended up
going
in a
to?
pickle.
Do they sell pickles here?
I look at the stock.
No, there's no pickles here.
No, there's no pickles here.
Oh. Why did you mention pickles?
Just because.
And he nods, but you can tell he doesn't understand.
More. Anywho.
So you have been here 4 months. Hmm. Was that how long I was out? And he looks at Delin.
I don't know. Probably.
Hmm. I suppose that makes sense. Hmm. Well, I suppose we can get back to the task at hand. Did you do any research?
Yes, I managed to find out some more information about the library.
Oh, that's good. Did you
And I
find
found
out
some
anything
information about-
about...
You go first.
No.
I found out information about the black mold as well.
Excellent. I'm sure Agamemnon Scorch will be pleased.
Which would you like to hear first?
Well, whatever would be easiest. And he looks at the rest of the group. Does everyone mind if we just discuss a bit of business?
Well, have we gotten all our food yet?
And the girl at the counter is kind of just like looking down at this book, and then she looks up and she realizes you're all sort of waiting on her, and she goes, fine, all right. And she just like scrambles a bunch of things together. You get a bag that looks a bit like popcorn, but it smells like roasted mushrooms and a few other things that you didn't order at all. And she just sort of shoves it across the counter at you.
Thank you. I guess there's a table or something that we can sit at.
Yeah, all the tables are huge. You feel like a bunch of halflings at a human-sized tavern.
Let's sit down. I think we're all interested
In this case,
black mold.
climb up. You have to climb up onto the seats like kids. Well, yes. Tell us what you've learned, Charlotte. Have you all
Okay.
met Charlotte?
Well, briefly.
Hi everyone, I'm Charlotte. Just so you know, I don't work here full time. I'm just here temporarily. Because I was separated from Agamemnon. And then she takes off her name tag.
I get that. Working for Sussan is tough.
Yeah, you two have a bonding moment.
To taste test cats?
What?
To lick a cat once. And then I joined these guys.
So that's where it all went wrong with the cats. Moxie smiles and kind of nods in understanding.
And now all she does is rage and kill things.
Like
It's the
cats
cat's fault.
anymore. Yeah.
Shall we all have some tea? And take a seat?
Sure.
More tea. Here, let me drink yours and taste it. Make sure it's not poison. And he immediately starts grabbing other people's cups of tea. Ow. Okay, you can have it.
And then Charlotte kind of like walks over to the tables and takes a seat.
It's so heavy that although Charlotte can drag it, it makes a horrifically loud, reverberating screech on the hard marble floor. grossly awkward. Everybody else in the library just turns and looks at Charlotte. And you even see like this blue giant head lean out from over the railing 3 floors up.
Sorry. And
I
she kind of
think
just like waves awkwardly.
I think I'm just
Val?
gonna do the same, so it isn't as awkward anymore. No.
I join in because that's just fun.
Valdescar ambles on over. Shh. Don't make me look at you.
Sorry.
Right.
It's okay. And wanders off slowly again. The mind flayer upstairs leans over and then disregards you, but the little one leans over and immediately starts getting extremely excited and starts pulling on the larger one's robes and pointing down there. Although they don't speak verbally, you get the sensation, those of you who are looking, that there's a brief communication going on. And the larger one looks back over again very intently at all of you, and they both fade off behind some shelves.
Did the little one look like the little one with the whatchamacallit? With the
Just gonna-
unicorn, not unicorn?
Yes! Well
Oh,
done, Moxie. Making friends in the Underdark.
oh. Whatever you do, don't touch any unicorns you see. It's not a unicorn. Unless you want your face eaten off. Just saying.
Is Charlotte's look of confusion as sincere as I assume Sophie's is at this moment?
Yes, probably. I'm
Yeah.
like making
All right.
eyes.
Mind flayer children and their toys. No.
Who let the children to the library?
Apparently it was allowed because there was an adult with it. So
it was accompanied by an adult. It's a PG-13 library.
Well, it
Very
shouldn't
good.
be.
I feel like Zanice is going to be the first person in this group to willingly sacrifice a child on the altar of a god.
Of course.
I mean, all them magic missiles at the demon baby.
Without mercy.
No.
All right. Well, as Charlotte has climbed onto her chair, everyone else has pulled a chair about as awkwardly as possible in a semicircle, and she's now basically hosting a little TED Talk.
Great. Okay. So when I first came to the library, I couldn't really find much information on the black mold, but I did find some more information about the library itself. So in the room, I'm not sure if you know this, but in the room of the future or the hall of the future, if you have the right materials, you can actually look into the future, but you only get one pry. Also, the library is guarded by 3 stone guardians. Let me just check my notes, she says, and then she rifles through some of her paperwork that she's written down on. And even though at first, when I couldn't find any information about the mold, since I've been here, there have been a few people coming here who've reported sightings of mold in both the Underdark and the surface. I've also managed to find a few books on the topic as well, and I've written down I've written down a list of these if you'd like to see. Master Scorch.
Oh, I'm just the simulacrum.
So,
Call me Sim or Sim4, Simiv, some people say.
Sim 4. So there's the Blood Wars, Demon Lords and their Minions, which has a section on Jublex. There's Out Damned Spot, magical contamination and how to remove it. There's Zukt Moy, demon goddess of mushrooms, not just another fun girl. And there's Love, Spiders and Drow, oh my. And the final book I found is It Love, Baby Don't Hurt Me, When Deities Intertwine. I can pick these up for you if you'd like to have a read through them. I haven't had a chance to myself since I've been working for Susna. I'm sure that Conan will be able to help you find the books in particular.
Have you been to the Hall of Futures?
I haven't had a myself because I don't have the right materials to be able to access the future site.
Do you know what kind of materials you need?
All I know is that you require a stone and then a very specific set of commands. But as I said, it can only be used once. So you have to make sure you get it right the first time, because there won't be another. And I think that about sums up all the main points I've recorded. Do you have any questions?
Agamemnon Scorch's simulacrum 4 will ask Charlotte, by the way, have you seen the elf family?
They only waited for me for a while, but then they had to move on. So I haven't seen them since. I tried to search for them with the stone that the Guardian gave me, but it was as if they were avoiding detection.
Oh, well. That wasn't my primary mission, so I suppose I'm not supposed to care.
Was there some reason you were looking for them?
No, we traveled together.
Oh.
We all came from Neverwinter originally.
And looks at everybody like wondering, was it the same ones that we saw?
Elnora, Perrin, Mellory.
I hate to say this, but they're dead. She hasn't attacked.
Oh well. So, back to these books.
Yeah, he has even less tact than Moxie does. Sweet.
Emotional IQ of a rock. Or a doo-doo cake.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I'm hungry. Pass out that food.
So, what are you going for?
She
There's a
wants
bag of what appears
chocolate
to...
cake.
Okay, yeah. You gonna give it a try?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know the drill, so...
Roll away.
Yeah. So the
It's
first
real
thing you
chocolate?
notice, the first thing you notice is this is not chocolate. The second thing you notice is, although it is brown, it's not really soft like you would expect a normal surface cake made of flour and yeast and eggs and butter. It's actually a very soft but springy kind of wood or vegetation or something similar. And as you look down, you see little white things moving about on it. Closer inspection shows that they look like termites.
Okay.
You realize you're actually biting into a piece of rotting wood. Very strongly seasoned and flavored. Has a bit of a cinnamony and nutty aftertaste. It's not entirely bad. It is a little bit sweet as well. But every once in a while, one of the termites tries to have a little nip with its mandibles into the side of your cheek.
May want to wash them down, Cracker.
Yeah, I need some of that tea. This cake's biting back.
You know
Is
you've eaten
Cracker-
too much of Cessna's food when?
Yeah.
I just know not to look too closely. It's just got to get in my belly.
Is Cracker at full strength? I think she probably is, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I-
I'm at full strength. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm just wondering why you're asking.
It's quite refreshing. You feel like if you weren't at full strength, that perhaps this would help bring back a bit of your stamina. Is
Like
it
a
me
million
or
bucks.
okay, right? I think you were cutting out. I don't know if it's me, but I don't think I heard everything you said there, Yvonne.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a million bucks. And I tell Delin, put some of this in the bag. You know, we might need it.
You may want to put it in something sealed so that it doesn't try to eat other wooden things.
That's a good point.
I have to find a container to have it in. I don't have anything in my bag.
The simulacrum looks at Cracker and says, "What does eating a piece of rotting wood have to do with 1 million deer?"
And dear, what? Chomp, chomp, chomp.
And he reaches into his knapsack and he hands you a container. Did you need a container? I have a spare one.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll take that and I'll just shove the rest in for later because that's worth a second bite.
It's a container made of wood.
She's not thinking too well about this. She just wants to shove it in something. And I
Byleth
try to
doesn't-
pass it to Delin.
Byleth doesn't have any more of them containers for slime, does she?
I don't
I
think
mean-
so.
I mean, you should have
looking right
emptied one
now.
of them by now.
Well, I still have some things that I want to give to Cessnas. But I have this vial of gelatinous cube, but it's just a vial, so I don't think it fits. Other than that, I don't really have containers.
Don't worry
Does
about it.
Byleth even have pockets?
I'll just eat it up.
No.
Cracker shows the cake in her back pocket.
And then proceeds to sit on it, presumably.
Yep. Who knows?
Problem
Maybe she.
solved.
Yeah. Termite problem solved. There, I want squish.
So, what is Zanice doing in all of this? Is she eating? Is
Drinking
she
tea.
taking notes? Drinking tea?
Drinking tea
Uh-huh.
and thinking why there's children in library.
Can't get off the children in the library.
No,
They
She,
don't belong here.
is her red face just getting redder with the anger and the indignity of having children in such a beautiful and respected place of learning and knowledge?
yes.
And the idea
Stupid
that children should be anywhere other than locked up in a cage,
No.
chained to a post. How does Charlotte feel about this first interaction with all these bizarre people? got a dragonborn, you've got a tiefling, you've got what appears to be a human woman, a half orc, a couple of hyenas.
In a regular situation, she might be extremely puzzled, but I think now that she's been in the library for a couple of months, she's like, this is like part of the course, really.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I can't wait to get out of here.
Yeah. Oh, love, you wouldn't have something a bit soothing? I feel I've got a tickle in my throat. Oh, never mind. It was just my beard.
Oh, that's good. I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you, darling. It shows off me curves. Oh, the lads like it. Gets me free drinks at the bar.
I thought as much. And she's kind of like staring at the huge cleavage.
It's perfect for putting down a pint. I just rest it there and, boys come over and occasionally throw in a silver. Somebody's got to pay for all this beer. I'm no fool. I don't suppose you sell
Mhm.
beer.
Charlotte turns and she asks she whisper calls out to the other attendant. Is beer on the menu?
She looks at you and says, how long have you been working here? Have you ever seen me drinking beer? Do you think I would be sitting here reading a book if there was beer on the menu? Huh. Now, do you mind? I'm reading.
I turn back to the bearded lady and I say, no, sorry, there's no beer.
Oh, that's a shame. Quite like a bitter. Or two. That's an interesting book. And she starts fingering the spine of one of the books on the shelves.
I try to catch a glimpse of what she's fingering.
Yeah, roll a perception check. Are you trying to do it stealthily?
No, not really. Just to have a look what she's so interested in.
Okay. Well, how tall is Charlotte?
Like 5'7".
Right. So this is a dwarf lady, so she's about 4'8", 4'10". So it's very easy for Charlotte to sort of just peer over her head without being too intrusive. Go ahead and roll perception. Oh, well done. 4. Well, although the library does have a magical dwarmer that allows everybody to comprehend languages, the angle is such that the writing on the spine is at a particularly odd angle, and the book is just on a lower shelf, so that between her bosoms and the angle, Charlotte would basically have to be peering down, straight down into her cleavage. And I feel like Charlotte probably would be a little bit uncomfortable doing that with a complete stranger, possibly even with somebody who isn't a complete stranger. And so you don't quite get the book, although it does say something about the word beauty.
I file that way in my head for later.
So about this mold. Shall we find these books?
Yeah. Should.
Yes.
All right. As Moxie will take the list and go over to Conan. Excuse me, sir. Can we get...
Yeah.
Well, you've changed a bit, sir.
Yeah. This is the whole of the present. Yeah. You want to talk to the refined version, you have to go to the Hall of the Future.
No. You are perfectly fine. I just happened to make notice of your appearance change. That's all.
Oh,
But,
yeah. I've been pumping iron and working out.
mm,
Do you like it? And he does the crab.
not too shabby. But is there a way we could get these books? And she kind of hands him the list that Charlotte
He
had.
he takes the list and he glances over them. He pulls his little pince-nez glasses further down his nose, and then he pushes them further back up. And then he takes them off and he wipes them. And at that point, you realize there are no lenses; they're just empty frames. And he goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, they're right there, and there, and there, and there." And he literally just does the bicep curl, but then he turns his hand outward and points a finger while maximizing the size of his bicep as he points out the general location of a bunch of these books in the various stacks. You think he's been doing this for quite some time. And if you were the least bit persuaded or intimidated, or perhaps were interested in a performance, you think he would be exceptionally good at all of those skills.
Can you be more specific?
Oh, yeah, yeah, just use the crystal. Did you get a crystal?
Yeah, I think the Dragonborn over there has it.
Yeah, just concentrate. Just think about it. You just need to think about it. It's
Okay.
amazing. It's magic.
Magic can be amazing at times. Yes, sir.
Anything you need, let me know. I'm here to help.
Got it. And she kind of walks back over to the table. Well, that was pointless.
I can hear
Apparent-
you, you know. I'm right over here.
Just speaking the truth, sir. Just speaking the truth.
Oh, fine. I'll get them for you. And
thank
he
you.
saunters off, and you see him make a big show of like walking up the steps. They can travel the Underdark, but they can't find books on the shelf.
Moxie's never been in a library. She doesn't know what to do.
Out damned spot. Out damned spot. There it is. Zuckmoy. That one seems to be out. And he comes back. Well, I found most of them. The Zuckmoy book is missing. Probably checked out, or somebody's reading it in one of the tables. Here we go. Yes, the Blood Wars. That's a good read. Bit dry, but lots of interesting battles. I like battles. Lots of blood. Yeah, good. Out damned spot. Magical contamination and how to remove it. Oh, yeah, that's important. Loath spiders and drow. Oh my. Yeah. And then he looks at Maliborn. You sure you need this book? It looks like you have a drow already.
He's not very talkative.
Oh, yeah. My type of guy. Is it love, baby? Don't hurt me when deities intertwine. Ooh, that's very steamy, I have to say. Not that I read it, I heard about it. And he blushes red briefly.
Of course.
Is that good, huh?
Oh, what? No, I mean, the reviews were fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, amazing.
Is that good?
Anyway, so, yeah, the Zuckmoy book. Let's see. And he starts looking through this card catalog in the corner. Oh, yeah, I see. Devere. Oh, I see. Apparently, one of the other patrons of the library has already checked this one out, but it is still in the library grounds. He hasn't taken it out of the library. Boop, 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 boop. And he presses on this piece of what appears to be crystalline rock, but as he presses on it, images start to appear. Boop, boop, boop. He is currently in the Hall of the Past. Viscerandivir. Looks like a drow. No offense. Maliborn just stands there admiring his nails and his abs.
Told you. He doesn't really care about much.
Yeah, so have fun, good reading. There's paper and pencil over there if you.
Thank you. That is
You're
much
welcome.
appreciated.
You're welcome.
Hey, Maliborn, didn't you want a job? Go talk to Conan. Do something useful for once.
You know how you were encouraging me to develop a bit more of my own personality and thoughts?
Yes, but you said you wanted a job. So here's an opportunity in which to get said job.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to do that, but thanks.
Lazy bastard.
I can hear you. I'm right over here, you know.
And I care because Moxie's just in a bad mood after her little cub got squashed, so you'll have to forgive her.
Look, just because your ears aren't as pointy as mine, there's no need to take it on. And he saunters off and he starts looking at the same book that the drow Drinkle Sweetwater is looking at. Oh, yes, that does look quite interesting, actually.
Never said I wanted to be an elf.
Dysfunctional, this group. Okay, so you guys have a stack of reference materials and a bunch of caffeinated and non-caffeinated drinks and some snacks with a bit of bite.
Literally.
I think this might be a good time to take a little break.
Sounds like a
You
plan.
guys want to think about your strategy going forward as well? What else you want to do? Think of the other questions. One of you had a question about Zuckmoy, and then there were some other things you guys wanted to cover.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Feel free to, in this case, you can, it's not really metagaming. You guys are just basically conferring with each other on your thought process. As discussed before, this is a huge magical place and people have gotten lost. So it's so physically vast and it has so much information that you could easily spend quite a lot of time and get quite a lot out of it. You also haven't had a chance to actually ask Agamemnon Scorch's Simulacrum to open the book that you had found. That was the uncompleted in progress treatise on demon lords. So there's always that option as well. We'll take about a 7 to 10 minute break for everybody to sort of get acclimated. And also, if you guys want to talk about your strategy before we resume, feel free to do so. And Sophie, feel free to type me any messages if you've got any questions or anything else you wanted to say before we complete the second half. Okay?
Sounds like a plan.
Great. Okay. See you guys in a few minutes. Hi. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if so, please like and subscribe. And remember, the next time your DM says, roll initiative, yell back,
Here,
hold my earrings.
Here, hold my earrings.
This is good. I think we only need this take.
Right. Okay, so what do you guys want to do?
Well, I guess we need to do some reading.
Okay, so whoever wants to read a particular book, I'm going to post a little bit of script into the game chat. Feel free to read it out in whatever voice and at whatever pace you would like. Crickets in the Underdark.
He cackles maniacally.
Anybody?
All right, fine. Moxie will take out damn spot.
Okay. This is actually a fairly small book. It does cover the basics on how to deal with your typical magical bits, but the bit that seems the most interesting, and I'll just read it myself since it's not that lengthy, is that it tells you, aside from dealing with your standard stain from, say, a magically related laboratory accident, or your average magical portal mishap into a dimension that has quite a lot of nasty things in it. Occasionally, magical contamination from a kind of a curse can occur, and the most commonly used spells to deal with it are remove curse and dispel magic, but also some higher level spells such as heal and mass heal. Put this in the chat so you guys can copy it. You guys are responsible for your own notes, of course. There you go. What's next? Daria, don't you want to read a book? Doesn't Zanice want to read a book?
Of course she wants to.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Laura, how does Byleth feel about reading a book? She's a wizard. She likes books.
Yeah, she
Oh,
likes books.
golly.
Of course.
Is
I
it because
think
it's like Oktoberfest or something? You're hungover?
no, I'm not.
Okay.
She says shyly.
She laughs nervously.
No. I think I want to read about the Blood Wars.
Okay, so this is a very, very large tome. The section that he brought out is the section that he's brought out talks about a couple of different things. And the section specifically that covers Dweeblex has the following. You gonna read it out loud?
I can't. Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, the Blood Wars.
Sorry. Yes.
Demon Lords and their minions. Section on Dweeblex. Dweeblex, known also as Ganador in the Elven pantheon, like other multi-aspect deities, benefits from different portfolios and audiences of worshippers. However, as a subordinate to Lolth, he has a weakness in that he could be subdued by virtue of her role as a greater deity and her sovereign. Convincing Lolth may take cajoling or even threats. Interesting.
So basically, Loth has to tell him what to do.
Hmm.
And to get her to do that, you have to cajole or threaten her. Okay.
There's this other little bit that's in the beginning related to the Blood Wars itself.
The Blood Wars are the perennial war between the demons of the abyss and the devils of hell. The two sides have never successfully gained a permanent advantage.
In other words, nobody knows how to win a war in hell. Got it.
Would Charlotte like to read something?
Sure. She takes out the book. Is it Love, Baby Don't Hate?
The spicy one.
The spicy one. She skips right to the steamy chapter.
All right. I'm going to just put a couple dots here just to give some spacing. There you go.
Deities, unlike mortals, rarely have true emotional attachment. Those that do fall into one of three camps: pre-deification, romance; post-deification, melding of worshippers; ambition-driven alliance. While the first two may fuel priests' and bards' imaginations, the latter is more concerning. They can lead to great upheaval in either the temporal sphere or else in the immortal realms. Over the millennia, there have been wars fought between followers of gods: Lathander and Torm versus Orcus; Mystra and Au against Baal, Cyric, and Bane; and even racial wars such as Baphomet versus Ianogu. And she kind of looks at Agamemnon to see if she pronounced that last one correct.
He nods sagely.
Or Grumish versus Moradin. But one of the greatest conflicts has been the Blood War, known to have engulfed nearly every major demon and lord from the Abyss as well as the devil princes of hell. This immortal stalemate may be only reason why the hordes of evil have not simply claimed the primary plane. Should an alliance in one or more of the demons and devils occur, an imbalance could allow a final conclusion to the blood war, with the consequence being a unified infernal and abyss army destroying the goodly living races. She looks kind of sad and dissatisfied with what she just read.
Didn't meet her expectations.
No.
She wanted the steamy bit. She didn't get the steamy bit.
No. The title is very deceptive.
Well, that's kind of disheartening considering Zuckmoy is in hell. At least that's what I'm assuming, based on the images from Igmorgus.
All right, there's one more. Who's going to read this one?
Oh, why
can.
not? Daria's like, fine, I'll read one.
Go,
Good
Daria.
Lord. Go, Daria. Go, Daria. Go, Daria. It's your birthday.
While the first two may.
Oh, wait. There, have you? You're starting with Loath Spiders and Drow Oh My, right?
Loaf spiders and Drow Oh My. It has been speculated that part of Loaf's true weakness is her unending desire for more power and respect born out of fear. He needs to be worshipped and idolized. There have been reports of a cult within the Drow that protect a secret of Loaf, which should it be revealed could be quite damaging to her image. This might be so important as to leave her vulnerable to Serosin, if one dared Seros a goddess.
Very good. Of course, you're missing one. As you finish this discussion, you notice that the stone giant librarian has wandered down and is gently hovering near you. And she walks down a flight of steps, kind of pushing some of your party members out of the way gently. I heard you were interested in the black mold. What is your interest in the subject, if I may ask? Don't all speak up at once. I don't bite. Although I will.
Lynn, you know the most about this stuff.
Well, we are seeking a way to try and stop it, so we are trying to learn more of it. How to remove it, how it spreads, how to stop the spreading. That kind of stuff.
And also probably what exactly happens to creatures if they eat it. Because you know what, we know what happens, but like not really the science behind it.
Yeah,
It's
true.
really fascinating.
Yes. And as she seems to be pondering this, you see a couple of little bats fly by, and they land on her shoulder, and they both start squeaking in little bat squeaks. Beep, 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 beep. And she turns her head slightly towards them and seems to nod very slowly and flicks a gentle finger, not at them, just in the air, and they take this as some sort of sign and they take off. Yes. My little friends have been sending me reports that this black mold has become quite a problem in the Underdark. Apparently, Neverlight Grove was heavily infested.
Yeah, we
Understatement.
kind of fixed that. Kind of.
You did? Interesting. And she pulls out what looks like a gigantic tablet or journal or something with a stencil attached. The stencil is steel, and the tablet seems to be made of a sort of stone, and you can hear the screeching that sets your fingernails on fire as she scrawls and scratches this metal stylus into a stone tablet. Tell me more about your involvement with the Black Mold and Neverlight Grove. I shall record it for our archives.
Could we just write it down on paper and you can transcribe it somewhere else? It's gonna
And
take a
she
while.
looks at you and she just puts down the stylus back inside a little nook from the tablet, and she puts the tablet away. Oh, of course, yes. I always forget that you little races live such short lives that everything is a rush. Yes, that would be acceptable.
Thank you.
And if you could share this information, as well as anything else you know about Zuktmoy and the other demon lords that seem to have infested the Underdark, we, the stone giant librarians and guardians of Graven Hollow, would be most grateful.
How grateful.
Are you making fun of the way I speak?
No, I'm just wondering if there's a reward for this information.
Well, we in the library do not deal with material wealth, which is why we had to outsource some of the concession stand businesses to some of your mortal likes. And she points in the general direction of Susna's coffee stand. However, we would be willing to give you access to the Hall of Mirrors within the future section of the archives. This would allow you to see your own futures within range of probabilities of expected outcomes. Many find it extremely useful. Some, however, do not wish to know their future or their fate even.
We will get right on it. We will write down what happened in Neverlight Grove, and we will also write down what we have seen on the surface as well.
That would be wonderful. In the meantime, as thanks for your efforts whilst you are our guests here, you will be given full access to the residency. We have limited guest quarters for visiting scholars and scribes. Each room can be tailored to your own personal preference. And of course, if you have any important books or knowledge that you would like preserved for the benefit of the realms, you may feel free to call upon any of our minor scribes and assistants in helping to record your stories, or to make a copy to leave at Graven Hollow for posterity. At this point, Agamemnon's sim looks into the satchel by his side and pulls out the unfinished treatise written by Agamemnon. He waves his hand over the book and says, Ouvrir! And the book suddenly shimmers, and you sense, those of you with arcane spellcasting abilities, that this has diffused the glyph of warding on the spell book. The book opens, and Agamemnon Scorch hands it to the stone giant librarian, Ermus. My master had created this treatise on demon lords, but he hasn't had a chance to finish it. It may, however, be useful in terms of spreading information about what they can do and why they're here. Would you like to make a copy? Oh, yes. We have some records of some of the specific deities who have invaded, but nothing like a completed work. And she touches a little gem on her neck, dangling from a necklace, and you sense a pulse of energy. And immediately, from out of nowhere in the shelves, half a dozen little, sort of 2-3 feet tall, dwarf-like creatures come scurrying out, and they carry the book off. This will be helpful. And she takes the crystal from Byleth, presses it gently, even though it doesn't look like there's anything to press. You see the crystal glow pink and then light blue, and she hands it back to Byleth. You are now enabled for access to the Hall of Mirrors. Feel free to use it. It may be used once, but I must warn you, not everyone wants to see the future, and sometimes they see a future they don't expect. I had better get back to my duties. Let us know, either through myself or Conan or any of the other attendants, when you have completed scribing your travels and experiences. Thank you. You have done the Underdark and giant kind a service. We shall remember. And she gently thunders away.
Well, I guess we should start writing.
Yeah.
Hey, Bonecracker, you wanted to learn to write. Come help me with this.
Yes, I can try. I've been practicing with this. And you see she's pulled out some sort of a bone from an animal that you didn't realize she had been chewing on this whole time. What would you like me to write?
Well, you can write your account of what happened while you were in Neverlight Grove.
Oh, yes. This is a good idea. And she takes one of the pieces of paper that were left behind, and you watch as she starts to scribble and scratch. She's so unused to writing that she holds this bone with her entire fist, as if she were holding a dagger in it and stabbing downward with the pommel end under her thumb and the blade under her hand. And she jabs at the paper, repeatedly poking holes in the paper and writing letters that are so big she needs 4 pages to finish one sentence.
I feel this is going slowly.
That's okay. It's always good to practice.
Perhaps you could show me.
And she hands
Sure.
you the bone.
Well, Moxie doesn't recognize the bone itself, does she? Like where it would have come from.
Roll a, what do you think that is? Perception, investigation,
Um,
survival,
probably more survival.
nature.
Nature would probably be best. There we
Okay.
go. 16.
You know, you look at it and then you look at one of the hyena cubs and you look at it again and you look at one of the hyena
That's what
cubs as
I
it
was
sits down and
thinking.
scratches its ear with its hind leg, and you realize this might very well be one of the leg bones from the hyena cub that died.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She kind of sets the bone aside and takes a quill pencil off the table. Says, "Let's not write with that. We'll write with this instead."
Oh,
And
that's fine. And she picks up the bone and starts gnawing on it again like it's a little candy.
yeah, Moxie takes the bone away. That's
Now,
we're not gonna.
I
we're
was
not.
eating that.
No, we're not gonna eat that, young lady.
You had a snack over there at that stand. I saw it.
I did not actually. So,
Well,
moving on.
That's fine. I have others.
And she pulls out another one and starts chewing on it.
Seriously, you're eating your own cubs. All right. Well,
They're not my cubs. I didn't give birth to them.
yeah. Well, you were still supposed to help train them, yet you're eating one. Moxie
I
kind of
am
shudders.
teaching them nothing should be wasted.
Mm-hmm. Before Moxie gets too angry and does something stupid within the library, she's going to ignore it because she promised she'd teach Bone Cracker to write, and kind of ask that she just put it away for now. Then she can gnaw on it later.
Fine.
Thank you.
Fine. And she tucks it behind one ear, just leaves it there dangling in your face.
Moxie kind of rolls her eyes and takes the quill and holds it like a proper writing implement and shows Cracker how to do it. It says if you hold it like this, it's a little easier to write with, and you just use a gentle hand. And she kind of starts writing.
Okay.
Wow.
Yvonne, does the other Cracker get a bit jealous about this other, sort of Cracker come lately getting writing lessons when,
No.
half-orc Cracker's been hanging out for a while and hasn't learned to write either?
Don't care. No, I don't care. I'm doing some burpees, I'm just like stretching a bit. I can't read. I don't care.
Ignorant and proud of it.
Yeah.
Is Denise trying to figure out how to write signs "No children allowed" in the library?
She started writing it.
Does it include like a picture of a small humanoid or something with a big circle and a line through the middle?
It's only a big circle and a line.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, so let's I don't know, what kind of skill check would that be for Moxie to help teach Bone Cracker?
Performance?
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to have an opposing roll. Sophie, as our newcomer, why don't you give the opposing roll? Just roll a d20 and I'll make the adjustments. Ooh, 21 is very good. With the sound effect and everything.
I love it.
As if like it really took effort to pick up a giant, d20 the size of a bowling ball and like heft it. As opposed to just clicking with a mouse button. Yeah, so even with any adjustments there, Moxie is so good in her little demonstration that Bone Cracker, who isn't particularly adept at it and obviously has no particular background or skill, is starting to pick it up. And you can see that Bone Cracker although she doesn't quite have the same digital dexterity that Moxie and the rest of the party do, has managed to at least hold the quill somewhat like Moxie's doing, and her scrawls are much tighter than they were before, and she's able to fit a whole sentence onto just one page of paper instead of 4, which for her is, 4 times progress.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done.
Yes? Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Can we hang this up somewhere? Quite proud of it.
Oh, maybe you can hang it up in your room tonight.
Yes. If there's a special box that stores food in cold places, I'll hang it up on the front of it.
Okay. Well, you
Do you
continue
see
to.
what it says?
What does it say?
You can both objectively tell that this is some language or script you've never seen and you don't recognize. You suspect maybe that Bonecracker may be even creating a written language for herself and her race. At the same time, the magical influence of the comprehend languages spell, which sits upon the library, which of course Moxie also knows herself,
Mm-hmm.
helps rearrange the lines and letters such that they are understandable. And it says, Chapter 1, How Moxie the Bard Teaches Bonecracker to Write.
Aw.
Whoever knew a knoll could be so heartbreaking sweet?
Yeah.
As she continues gnawing on the thigh bone of one of the cubs.
Yeah. Well. She may be gnawing on it, but she's not the one that made it go splat. So.
Cud just looks up at the ceiling, sipping his tea. Ooh, when is she going to let that go? I said sorry.
Moxie ignores his comment and looks back at Bonecracker going, nice start. Now, start the story.
I'll need more paper.
And she
Kinda-
reaches out and takes a whole stack of paper.
Uh-huh.
And
Have
she
fun.
just sits down and starts scribbling madly away.
All right. Now she's taken care of.
Laura, Byleth, as a wizard extraordinary who has certainly been in some pretty fancy libraries, if you consider what Silvering Moon has access to, but is still presumably impressed by this place. What, if anything, is Byleth doing?
At first, she's looking at this crystal that, now has new powers, so that's cool. But then she's turning to Connell, is his name?
Conan.
Him?
Conan.
Yeah.
Conan. Really?
Conan. Yeah. And
You
I
don't
want to
know
ask
Conan?
Conan.
One of,
What?
She's too young.
she's too young.
Apparently.
Oh my God. It's like one of the greatest exports out of Austria ever. Oh
She's too
no.
young.
Oh my God. I
I'm going
can't
to
believe
Austria
it.
next week.
Yeah, make sure to ask everybody about Conan the Barbarian.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
You've got to. I dare you to do it, and then tell
I'm
us how
writing
it
it
all
down.
goes.
Record it for posterity.
Yeah,
Me,
seriously,
sir.
you make a TikTok out of it. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm in Austria. My friend told me to go ask everybody in Austria about Conan the Barbarian and see their reaction when I tell them I don't know anything about it. Oh boy, this ought to be funny. Especially big guys. If you see any big bodybuilders, definitely ask them.
Uh-huh. Okay, I will do that. Definitely. All right. Okay, so Conan the Barbarian.
The librarian. I'm the librarian.
The library.
I
Yeah,
gave
yeah.
up my life
You
as a
you
barbarian.
changed
I'm
your ways.
educated now. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's amazing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it suits you. I have a question about an artifact that I have. And I thought maybe you might know something about it or where I can get more information about it. And I hand over the die I got from Pierce, the
Oh,
magical die.
yeah. Ooh.
And he looks at it, he holds it, he turns it around between his fingers. He starts to make the motion of rolling it. And just as he's about to toss it down on the table, his whole face, his body, the muscles in his neck all freeze and strain in a rictus.
Oh, it's no good. I can't do it.
And he gives it back to you.
Yeah, very powerful magic. I can't roll it. I don't know. I'm a librarian. I'm not really a wizard. You would have to ask a wizard.
And then he looks at you with your robes, your little magical rings hanging from your nose, and your horn. And then he looks at Agamemnon Scorch in his robes, carrying his little staff and holding his book. And then at Charlotte, who has also a little book.
Is this a trick? You have wizards.
And he points at all of you.
I'm too busy for jokes.
And he storms off, waving his arms.
But I can't identify it. Huh. Could I ask
You said,
the Agamemnon Scorch simulacrum about it?
I don't know, can you?
I will try to ask.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. What's up with his dice? With his die, because I can't identify it. It's too powerful of magic.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Let's see. I guess it's Arcana. It might be history, but I think he's actually proficient in both, so it won't make a difference. Go ahead and roll a d20 for Agamemnon Scorch. Simulacrum.
Boop.
Boop.
8.
Hmm.
Oh.
He sniffs it. He tries to chew on it a little bit, like a mouse, kind of tentatively trying out something it's not sure it can eat. He holds it in his hand, but he shakes it, but he's not rolling it onto a table. He just sort of shakes it and listens to the sound it makes. Holds it up and looks at it very closely, too close to actually see anything. This is a magical die.
Huh. Really? I didn't know. Aw.
I think this is a very powerful magical die. I feel like my master would say, this is not a die to be trifled with. And he hands it back to you, but the way he does it, he kind of closes his eyes and leans his head backward as if he's worried that it's going to explode as he gives it to you. And he waits for you to take it out of his hand with his eyes closed.
Gonna take it angrily and then just throw it in my backpack.
And
Stupid
as soon as
die.
you like angrily throw this thing in your backpack, he immediately like sort of jumps back 3 feet and he raises a forearm to protect his face. And when nothing happens, he kind of lowers his forearm, smooths his robes like he meant to do that, like a cat that's embarrassed that it fell, but it just wants to like cover it up. And then he looks around. So, Charlotte, how have you been all this time?
Oh, I've been fine. And then
That's good.
kind of like And then she kind of looks at Sus doll, like a worried expression.
My memory says you used to like oysters. Have you had any oysters?
She kind of gags and then holds her hands to her mouth.
Oh, wait, no, I got that wrong. You don't like oysters. You sold oysters.
Mm-hmm. And then she nods, but she can't speak because the bile in him.
You should probably speak to a cleric about that.
She swallowed.
The two little hyena cubs kind of like hang out in front of Sophie, licking up anything that might have like fell onto the ground. Bone Cracker momentarily seems to think about it as well as she leans in and then kind of catches herself.
No, no, no. Must be civilized.
And she takes the bone from behind her ear and starts gnawing on it, almost nervously, like she's trying to restrain herself.
Focus on your writing, Bone Cracker.
Yeah.
Anybody got any more scones and mold for the Bone Cracker?
Cud, hearing your request for more scones and mold, decides to wander off. No mold here. All the mold for Cud. Ooh,
Typical.
this.
Does the Conan run away, or we can still see him?
He's moved away, but his role is to stay in this particular hall and help attend the hall. So he can't exactly just totally leave his post, but he's available if you want to talk to him.
So I wanna go to him and say, here, hang these papers on the wall. I give him a stack of paper. Everyone on every is said, no children allowed.
Okay, well, I feel like that is what would you say there, Daria? I think that's a great idea. Is that persuasion? Is it deception? I mean, it's not necessarily a hard rule of the library. You're trying to impose a rule that doesn't necessarily exist, right? Intimidation? Are you trying to intimidate Conan the librarian?
No, I more try to persuade him.
But kids are allowed.
Shh.
Oh, I don't know. I think it will depend on your persuasion check, he says.
23.
Oh, yeah, this is a good idea. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And he immediately starts hammering papers into the various stone columns. He's so strong that even though they're actually stone columns, all it takes is one bash of his hammer and the things get stuck in there. Bonk,
Thank you
bonk,
so
bonk,
much.
bonk.
Yeah, no more kids. No, get out. Get to the chopper.
Shouts at the little baby mind flayer. And they immediately start to make a hasty retreat.
Another problem solved.
Does Zenise look at the two baby hyenas? She says that.
Oh.
Oh, okay, all right, fine. It's only
Cute cat.
humanoid and
Oh,
humanoid
cute.
type children. Yeah, they're cute. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
The niece's catchphrase. Problem solved.
Very nice. All right. So, you guys still have a book that's missing. And there's still a whole lot of stuff to go do. You can spend some time in this particular hall if you want, but you can transcribe anywhere, your rooms, one of the other halls. If you guys have anything else you want to look up, you can certainly do that as well. It's not like Charlotte found all the books that might be relevant for all the things that you need. because besides, she didn't necessarily, her assignment as the intern for Agamemnon Scorch's simulacrum didn't necessarily completely overlap with your particular goals. So, what would everyone like to do, if anything else?
How to retrieve your shadow. Or fix a necrotic arm.
Yes. Okay. You'll have to try to concentrate on the crystal. So first of all, you'll have to wrest the crystal away from your dragonborn, who
Mhm.
is quite enamored of this crystal that glows in various colors that seem to match Byleth's scales and general coloration.
So
I was-
fascinating.
Can I borrow that for a few moments, please?
Okay, but
Thank you.
only this time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, all I had to do was ask.
Well, I'm nice, so.
Okay. So this is a wisdom check.
All right. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, didn't work at all. That was a nat 1. Oh, that was bad. That was really bad.
You should have let me do it.
Apparently, I should have. I'm never gonna learn anything how to fix my ailments. Can you look for those things for me, Byleth?
I can try. Wisdom. Gonna take it, and I'm gonna close my eyes, and there we go. Or not.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Wow!
21!
Go
That's
off.
what I'm saying.
Nice.
Nat 20. That just shows the difference in our wisdom. Apparently, Moxie spent too much time out in the wilds as a kid.
Yeah,
natural.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely like a certain element of, oh my God, she's a show off. She's, goodness sake, she's a wizard of divination, and she didn't even have to use her portent.
That's the difference in the wisdom of a wizard versus that of a bard.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Which book was it were you looking for?
How to retrieve one's shadow and how to heal a necrotic arm.
No, but I'm saying, which one were you looking for just now?
Oh, the shadow one first.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Feel free to read it out loud.
All right. How to Retrieve Your Shadow by P. Pan. The best way to recover a lost shadow depends in part on how one lost it. The best way is to steal it from the same creature or similar being from which it disappeared. So losing it to a shadow undead would require slaying another shadow, or better yet, capturing it and binding it through a magic jar or similar spell. Ooh, those guys were difficult to begin with. That's not an easy fix. But it's good to know. I don't have a magic jar spell either, so.
You can
Or a
roll an
magic jar.
Arcana check.
Arcana.
Mhm. Okay. So, not a great roll, but you know that although there are spells that can bind creatures or even souls, they are not restricted just to one particular spell. There are multiple ways one can do it, and not least of which, because your group's had some interactions with a lich, which, although you weren't there for that, Moxie, your occasional fireside chats when you guys are taking your long rests surely would have included sharing some of the information from previous adventures. And you know that liches have a phylactery, which is a way of keeping one's soul protected. And similar types of devices also exist.
Okay. Can you search for how to fix my arm too, Violet? Please.
I can try.
You're so much
And-
wiser than I am.
Hopefully I am.
Strokes your ego.
To 10.
There are a lot of books in the general directory that seem to relate to limbs and body parts. One of them is called Frankenstein, putting together the best foot forward. Another one is called Oh Brother, Can You Lend Me a Hand? Third one is called Arms Dealer, the biography of a man known for getting the best out of people.
Guess she could just go find all three of them and get to reading.
It'll be hard to do it with the low roll that you had on the crystal, and of course Conan having been sort of driven away and now busy affixing all of the no children allowed signs throughout the hall of the present. It sounds like a woodpecker is let loose in here, just bang, 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 bang. Hey, you, get out! Yeah, you, yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were a gnome. It's okay, you can stay.
Thanks.
You think
Ziggy's.
you suspect that Conan has been let loose on a certain rampage of height discrimination throughout the library.
Oh, I guess I can. Can I at least find one of the books?
Yeah, maybe next week after the DM has written up a summation of one of them. I mean, I did the one for, How to Retrieve Your Shadow by P. Pen. That was pretty good.
I like
on the
that
fly.
one. That one was good.
Yeah, it's it's. I need a little creative downtime. I've been writing a lot the last couple of days. Okay. Yeah. You better.
Always. I thought it was
Okay.
ingenious.
All right. What did I say the first title was? I don't even remember now. Oh,
Oh,
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein, then Oh Brother Something Lend a Hand, and then The Arms Dealer.
Putting your best foot forward. Okay. Actually, putting someone's best foot forward is even better.
Uh-huh.
Okay, there you go. You can look for it tomorrow, which is to say next week. Anybody else want to do anything that doesn't require a DM having to create all these ridiculous stories on the fly? Charlotte, please.
Well, now that she's found Agamemnon again, she's kind of like wondering how to give her notice in to the Cessna store.
Are you asking the DM for advice? I mean, generally I would talk to somebody in HR and maybe my line manager.
Ask Cracker. She's done it before.
Just walk
Cracker's
away.
got experience.
Just walk away. You
How
don't have to say
many
anything.
jobs
Don't
has
look
Cracker
back.
had?
Few.
How many digits does it go into?
I have a lot of experience. A lot.
Cracker is quite possibly the most experienced tavern wench, server, barmaid, and line
Bouncer.
chef bouncer throughout the Forgotten Realms.
I've worked
She's
everywhere, man.
She's so famous that the Forgotten Realms have been re-remembered as a result.
The Cracker Realms.
Yeah.
How to properly keep, and quit a job.
Yeah, I'm the master. So yeah, you want to just come along with us? I mean, we just go around doing stuff too. It's not that much difference from Cessna's. I mean, we keep collecting food and yeah. And eating
You
it.
guys are researching the black mold, right?
Yeah. I
She
think
kind of,
so. I don't know, I just hit stuff.
It just hits stuff.
Cracker is the best. I don't know.
Yes, she is.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just hitting stuff.
Delin points me at it and I hit it.
Yeah, you should go talk to Dylan. She's like our naughty mom.
Which one is darling?
I'm looking up from my writing. I'm sitting there writing, trying to write down all accounts that I've been through, and well, not all. So I have written down the quest to save the world, part 1, the journey to Graven Hollow, and I'm making a book out of it. And
Epic.
and under it says a tale told by Delin.
You sense itchiness on the top of your feet, and you look down and you see little bits of hair starting to sprout there.
And I'm writing down everything from when I started in oh my god, what is it called? Shalantar? Or is it, that's what it's called? I don't remember where I come from.
Tar.
You can't remember where you came from.
I can't remember. I
You
haven't-
have-
I've changed so much. I just
Yeah,
don't remember anymore.
don't remember. And I'm going to write.
Apparently, when you've been knocked to 0 hit points often enough, you
Yeah.
start to have that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So I'm gonna write down what Lol's temple, but I'm gonna leave out Lol's secret. So I'm just gonna skip that. And I'm also not going to write down the location of Tarul Vao. And just kind of write it as a normal lich. A normal one. If that
A normal lich. If they can be called normal.
Yeah. And I'm also going to be very vague about the details of the civil war in Scholt and our involvement. So
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
came to.
cherry pick the details.
Yeah, we were in Chalton somehow. I don't know who started or what it was
Oh,
based on.
Suddenly,
you
just
know, it's-
everybody just hated each other and started fighting,
Mm,
and we left.
yeah, then we left. Yeah. There was an explosion at the Temple of Joaquin.
Yeah.
The whole place went on fire.
No idea
There were
what happened.
there were reports of a fiery golden horse flying in the air.
Yeah.
The Gentarum pointed fingers at the local Joaquin forces. The locals claimed that the Omnians were attempting to try to retake their former colony. Supposedly, a bunch of adventurers or mercenaries were involved, but this has never been proven.
Very suspect.
Yep. Being very vague about those details. And if when I hear my name, I'm just gonna, what? Did someone say my name? What?
Very good.
I'm being a writer. I'm gonna write down my life and my achievements, so I'll be remembered. And of course, I include everyone and their story and how we met. So,
Nice. I love it. I think everybody should get a point of inspiration for all the very clever and insightful ideas that they've produced. Delin, Cracker, of course, Byleth, Moxie, especially for the little teaching session with Bonecracker, Zanice for helping install a new set of rules for the library of Graven Hollow that is older than even the giants can remember, and not least, of course, Charlotte, who has executed her duties both to Agamemnon Scorch as a recorder, researcher, and intern, as well as to Susna as a junior barista with both aplomb and dedication far beyond her calling.
now just remember to use that inspiration sometime.
At some
Exactly.
point, somebody's going to remember to use inspiration. Oh my God, we're all dying. Jeez, what can we do? It's like it's
I give it out like it's candy and we all forget.
Yeah. So, someone said anything about black mold? yes, that's what we are trying to find out more about and get rid of, hopefully. You can read this part 1 and you can see everything that's happened. It's not done yet. It's just the first edition. So that's the first cut.
Charlotte kind of squints at the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's writing is beautiful because her style of writing is very elvish, which you would recognize since Agamemnon Scorch was also schooled in elvish literature and arts, and his writing style similarly is beautiful. It's so gorgeous that it's like calligraphy. It goes beyond just simple handwriting or block printing or even cursive. But yeah, it's very, very nice. In fact, doesn't somebody have a magical pen?
No, Satina had.
Oh, right. And that was all seized as part of her debt for the library books that she
Yep.
had outstanding. The repo man took all of her stuff, including magical pens. Yeah. Okay. So, what else do you guys want to do?
Maybe we should look for that last book. The one on Soktmoy.
Go to the Hall of the Past to
Yeah.
find the guy who's got it.
Sounds good. Tell me what to hit.
I'm sorry, Cracker. No hitting in here.
Yeah, we don't
Sorry.
need. We don't need to incur the wrath of what's his name.
That Conan guy?
No, not the Conan guy.
The Conan guy? I could take him.
Yeah, not the Conan guy. Valdescar. Don't want to incur his wrath.
Yeah. Wow, your group is getting pretty big. Somebody's going to have to die soon.
Oh God. Okay.
Malibor.
Wow.
Well, weren't Malibon supposed to take up a job at the library?
He was supposed to, and then he got all hoity-toity about it. It was like, nah, never mind. Went back to checking out his muscles and his fingernails.
Well,
Still
there's gonna be a
standing
vacancy
right
in Sus-
here. I can still hear you just fine.
Yeah, but
Yes.
what's your plan? Are you just gonna keep following us and getting into trouble? Well, we get into trouble and you just gonna stand there and watch? What if we all die? Then you will die.
So what you're saying is I need to figure out a plan so that I have some personal security for my future.
Well, yeah. And if you stay here and work here, you can be safe. And you will meet a lot of different people here. From every corner of the world and from all timelines, it seems. Sounds pretty interesting, doesn't it?
I feel like that was so insincere that you get to roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Well, it seems interesting, but I kind of have other things too. Do you? Well, it's a 14, so not too bad.
Perhaps he could locate more books on nail care because he seems to be so focused on his nails.
You know, I'll remember that next time you ask me for a massage.
Okay.
I'll take it under advisement. If an opportunity presents itself and something really enticing pops up, then, well, of course, I want to think about my future. I thought we had a plan. I thought we were all in this together, just girls, but apparently not. It's fine. I'm not hurt. Not like I was trying to fit in or looking for a place where I'd be treated as an equal or anything.
Passive aggressive much?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that traveling with us is dangerous. And if we have to worry about protecting you all the time, some of us might die and then You can die. I'm just saying it's dangerous to keep hanging with us. And we are going after Saktmoy, a goddess. And we might also run into Lol for all that matters. Seems like Saktmoy, no, Jublex only takes orders from Lol, so we might. And I don't know how she feels about you deserting, not fulfilling your duty to your kin.
Well, I'm sure a good advocate could put forward a case that I was not so much derelict in my duties, but simply unable to fulfill them due to acts of gods and goddesses. I mean, technically it's true, isn't it? I feel.
Yeah, but how is she gonna view that?
I don't think she's a forgiving sort. And
Uh-uh.
I know that she doesn't like me because, well, we kind of killed some of her babies in her temple one time. Some spider
Oh,
babies.
you squashed a spider.
No, no,
Yes.
no.
Well,
We didn't
that kind of thing
squash.
happens. I'm sure she would give it.
Well, we didn't squash a baby. We set fire to a dozen of them.
Oh,
Well, hundreds, I
yes.
guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's no, she won't like that at all.
No, she won't. We also felt that she didn't like it.
Hmm. But what would I do here? I've got the spirit of a warrior. I've got a combative nature as well. I mean, it's been beaten out of me by centuries of serving women, but you know what I mean. It's this is all very staid. I mean, look at that fellow hammering those signs up on the posts. No children allowed. I mean,
Maybe you can help
that's not my life.
Cessna here.
I mean, he looks completely emasculated. No, those muscles aren't doing anything. What, be a barista? Like her?
Yeah.
Don't be absurd.
Give you a way
My
to flex your
fighting
muscles.
skills. My
Yeah.
fighting skills would be wasted. What am I going to do? Chop up a pain chocolat? I don't know why you were eating that cake, by the way. That thing looked absolutely disgusting. But you could just very easily just say, why don't I just use my muscles to slit my wrists and cut my throat?
Oh, traumatic much?
It doesn't make any sense. No, I don't think
some
I'm
help with
being
that?
dramatic at all. I do. I feel I'm completely justified in this position.
How about this, Malborn? How about you pick a pen and some paper and write down all of your complaints with regards to your treatment from day one? I'm sure that will take you some time and give you time to reflect on all that you have done and all that you have been through.
I mean, it seems a bit unreasonable. I mean, is this just busy work to keep me out of it?
No, it's to help you reflect and flex your muscles, your brain muscles.
Nah. I think you can roll persuasion on that one.
All right.
Normal.
Yeah.
Because you didn't use any funny voice. Yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe. Yes, I could see how writing might be related to something in the future. But, I don't know. It feels like something for retired people.
Maybe you should retire. You were kept in that portal for a very long time.
But I didn't age, and besides, I'm still quite young. I'm only 300.
Well, who knows? Maybe in working here, you'll find a partner to share your woes with.
Maybe you can help Basilisk defend it. Defend the library.
Oh, look around. They're all scholars and geeks. I mean, oh, come on. It wouldn't be much of a fight, really.
Yeah.
Besides, I feel like I was meant to get out into the world. perhaps there's some other future for me. I accept the point you're trying to make, but I don't see myself working here as a librarian, I'll be honest.
Well, you should go to the Hall of Future then, the Hall of Mirrors, and see your future.
That's not a bad idea. Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. When we all go together, then I'll whatever it says, I'll seriously consider it. I mean, they said it isn't necessarily fixed, but I suppose it's somewhat self-gravitating, isn't it? It's fatalism and all that. Right. Now, are we done talking about my future?
Sure.
Now,
Let's go find the book
don't
in the
don't
past.
sound so excited.
No, but
Right.
Ugh.
Okay, who's gonna manage the crystal this time? Violet's gonna show off again.
I can try again. I don't know if I still have the luck.
No, go out on top, Laura. Always go out on top.
I can do
If you want
it.
to, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can do it. Of course, you've got people with guidance and a bardic inspiration, but God for and everybody has inspiration, but God forbid somebody actually
Well.
remembered you was one of those things.
fine. I'll cast guidance. Violet, do a good
Oh,
job.
oh my God. Oh my
Ah,
God.
Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
so
goodness.
grateful.
Somebody's gonna what a sacrifice. Someone's gonna use an endlessly usable cantrip
Well, I've been
out of
busy writing a
combat.
book. That's why I haven't used it.
Thanks so much, Dylan. I will forever be grateful.
Sophie, does this experience change Charlotte's view, on joining this somewhat dysfunctional group?
She thinks she can very much help them.
Getting us on the right
They're in
track.
desperate need of some help.
Is that another way of saying she thinks this group needs help?
Apparently,
Oh, definitely.
we're so dysfunctional. We need more
Oh,
help.
Mm.
All right,
Okay.
Byleth.
I close my
You-
eyes again and hope for the best. It's an 8.
No,
Plus
no,
a
but you've got
D4.
guidance.
I have it on.
Is it? No, it's
but
not. Is it?
I have it ticked off on,
It didn't
in
roll
the.
because I'm hovering over the 8.
Yeah, I didn't.
It
I don't
should say
know.
guidance underneath. So, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
weird.
Well, you got. That may not. If you've ticked it off, it may not apply to the wisdom roll. It may just be skills.
Yeah,
Skill check. Okay, so that's fine.
I
No
think
problem.
so.
So you got a 10, which is actually going to be insufficient. You kind of get a little bit lost.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
You end up walking around in circles, and after about an hour, you realize you're back in the same place that you started.
Can I try it?
Yes, of course.
I'm gonna
I'm
try
very
it.
sorry.
And I am
Should have
going
gone out
to
on top.
put guidance on myself as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't when I have the guidance on.
Hmm.
So that's a 15.
Yeah, because it's not a
Yeah.
it's not a skill check. It's a skill check. It's not a well, it's an ability check, not a skill check. 15. Yeah, so 15 is going to succeed. You guys start getting this. You hold it out in front of you, this crystal, and it pulls you like a divining rod looking for water, or a dowsing rod, and it slowly leads you down various hallways, upstairs, downstairs. One of the interesting features about this library, aside from the fact that it is larger inside than it is outside, is that no matter where you go, you never see what appears to be the bottom floor when you're in a central staircase. There are corridors that lead from building to building, suspended in what appears to be space. And sometimes you even feel as if you're looking up at a staircase above you that actually has people or spirits walking on the staircase, but heading in your direction as if gravity were opposite for them. Kind of like an MC Escher type experience. As you are rotating around the various areas, you spot
things that you hadn't seen since you walked in here, including what briefly looks like a skeleton wearing a red robe walking around. And another point you see is something that looks like a giant, like much larger than Cud creature, bipedal, but with kind of Cud-like feet and giant horns. But the upper body is that of a beautiful man, very muscular and naked from the waist up. None of them seem to pay attention to you.
I don't recognize the skeleton, right?
It's it's kind of far away, but go ahead and roll a history check, I guess, or perception.
I was thinking of Taralvar, if it's him.
Okay.
I'm going to use perception to see if I can see if it's him.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 8. Natural 1.
Well, from where it stands, it does look a bit like it could be Taralvar, but you would have to be a lot closer to be absolutely certain.
Okay.
It's not impossible based on the brief glimpse you saw upside down from a distance in a disorientating kind of environment.
How far away is he?
It looks like it's over 1,000 feet.
Oh, okay.
You can barely see it. So from this distance, it's like a red thin robe with a weird kind of bald head, but it's all the bits that aren't covered in red are covered in gray. And it's very, very skinny, too skinny to be like a standard human or half orc or elf even. And it moves without seeming to, although it's hard to tell compared to other creatures on the same walkway, it kind of glides as opposed to having that ambling motion that's visible, even though it is wearing long red robes. Okay, good. You make your way finally after about an hour of walking, and you end up in what you instinctively know is the Hall of the Past. And as you walk in, you see a number of
Tonker.
beings.
It's only getting buffer.
Anything anybody want to do? One last thing to do or say before we break?
Have we found the book yet? No, it's just in this room somewhere.
The drow has it. Well, that's what she said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the drow has
Yeah.
it.
Okay, if we know that, I want to use the crystal to see if I can determine if it was Taralval, because the librarian said that we can use it to locate people as well.
I'm not doing the turn order for any particular reason. I just
Super.
Yes, very good. Okay, so you use the crystal. Go ahead and roll your wisdom
Guide me.
check again with guidance.
Ooh, 26.
Yes, and the crystal tells you that Taralvar is indeed present in Graven Hollow.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I don't know. He's kind of a dick now. I totally forgot that he was a dick after he became Taralval.
You know what they say, liches can be bitches.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Oh, I was kind of excited to see him again, but he kind of, yeah. No. Well, now I know.
Well, you'll have a whole week to think about what you say when you finally run into him. And that's where we're going to break. I know. It feels like it could go on.
Tonker.
Trust me, I've got so much stuff. Yeah, Tonker. Tonker may not be the same Tonker you know or knew.
No.
We'll have to see about that. Yeah. And 3 shifty looking elves in the corner there seem to be hunched over trying to either jam something into a shelf or pull something out of a shelf. You can't tell.
Still need to figure out what they were trying to hide in the Hall of the Present. But we'll figure that out
Mhm.
some other time.
Absolutely.
Lazy child.
And there's another child, for God's sake.
You have to make
I
more
hope-
posters.
Yeah, I hope Zanice brought
Yes.
enough paper or at least other copies of her No Children Allowed signs. Very good. Well, I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. And look forward to seeing everybody next week. I think, Yvonne, you're out. Is that right?
I'm probably out.
Okay. I think at this stage it's not critical. So if you at the last minute kind of realize you can play, it shouldn't be a problem.
That's okay. Okay.
and-
Thank you.
In terms of narrative, I don't have anything specifically lined up for Cracker where you guys are today.
Okay.
And Sophie, if you could just stay online for a couple minutes afterward, that would be great. Thanks for coming, everybody, and thanks for sharing. I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week.
You too.
You
as well.
too.
You too.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Okay.
You guys-
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.